Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another trade recap. So it's been a while since I actually done a trade recap. So I'll actually be, this is my first time having a webcam. What's up? What's up? So it's not really a webcam, it's just a secondary camera. So yeah. So today was, I would say, today was my first live stream that I actually did, and it went pretty well. I would say. I mean, not many people joined, but it's fine. At least I'm starting somewhere, right? So for me, today I did my live stream with one of my friends, my trader friend, and today we caught some good trades as well, and I caught some losers as well. Nothing surprisingly there. So yeah. Okay, so today I actually caught out a 5 trades in total, 3 winners, 2 losses. Okay, so the first trade I took was pre-market when I had, so when pre-market came, right, we actually had this new day gap opening when we had during the weekend, right? I was like, give me a second. So I was like, okay, maybe we could potentially look for a long to fill out this end dot. So it's a weekly gap, new weekly gap opening, right? So call it end dot lah. Okay, so basically, yeah, so that was my buy side for the day. So, and I saw that okay, we had some LRR forming and stuff, right? That was my draw on liquidity for the day, right? So when it came in, I was like, okay, waiting for a pullback here. This was the original trade that I wanted to get in. However, because we pumped so much here, it is just invalid. So I came down, I waited. Okay, we got this nice. I like this momentum. We came down into this fair value gap here. I like this momentum here. We inverse this. My draw on liquidity was definitely higher. So I was like, okay, maybe we could definitely look for a long potential, and we had that. I like that we had this OB as well, and sadly we got hit to the downside here, as you guys can see. So that's the first trade was an L. So sadly there was an L, and I think it's fine. So looking back, I think the only reason why there's two reasons why this trade will fail was because I would personally say that like the only reason why this trade would reasons why it would fail, right, was because we didn't actually sweep any form of liquidity. As you can see, we didn't sweep any internal lows, internal highs as well, and additionally we were just way too high. Okay, you might be saying that like, oh, how the hell are we high? We dumped so much, last week. So like, how the hell is this high? We could potentially be very low. I mean, intraday wise, we were pretty high. So that's the only reason why I would say technically it failed. So then after that, we just kind of dumped, as you can see. So market open, I mean, the volatility was just super high. You guys can see, you can't even tell whether market open or not. So waited. Okay, then when I saw this here, okay, I like this trade here because, which I caught as well, and Sean as well caught it as well. He caught it as well. You guys can definitely check out the Telegram that we actually caught this trade. Okay, so I was like, okay, this actually trade looks pretty good here, and boom, and this candlestick was such a huge momentum here. I didn't take it on my live here, but Sean did actually take it on his live, which was crazy by him. So he caught it, and you guys can see it was a banger trade. So the reason why it was a banger trade, right, was because we actually came with a discount here. As you guys can see, we swept these equal lows here, and then we bounced off the higher time frame fair value gap here. So this was the setup that you would have taken if you were bullish, which I was, and I just didn't take it. I took it way too high, so you guys can see the difference. So I took this trade here. I took it on my demo account, my out account here. I rolled it, and Sean rolled it all the way to up here or something along that line. So it's kind of a nice trade for him. And after that, I just was like, okay, so we actually filled the end dot, as you guys can see. Okay, we just continue pumping here. Okay, we just continue pumping here. I didn't get any setup here. I wanted to look for higher time frame, and we flew all the way higher here, as you can see. So then after that, we came up here. I was like, okay, we most probably are going to sweep this LRR here that we had last week on Friday, and we did. So we hit the buy side there, and I was like, oh, this actually seems like a very good shot here, because we sweep buy side instantly, V-shaped recovery here. However, for me, I guess one thing I've learned throughout the whole week is that, like, because we're so bullish here, right, the intraday we are bullish here, right, I was like, okay, maybe if I can get a nice short setup like that and go lower here, because that was what I was waiting for. And higher time frame and everything with tariffs and everything, right, we are sort of bearish, my personal opinion here. So I was like, okay, so we kind of dumped. So this is where I actually took a long here. So I took this long here. Okay, reason was that we was inside this fair value gap here, Okay, we were inside this fair value gap here, so I was like, okay, we set this low inside this fair value gap here, which technically this was a protected low. So I was like, okay, at least we have this high for me to move stops to break even. And then the most funny thing is that we came super close to it. I almost moved stops to break even, but we actually immediately just rejected off because ES actually hit the high here. As you can see, we actually hit this high here. ES hit the high and NQ didn't, so that's why we instantly rejected it. And I was like, oh my god, I was like so upset. And honestly speaking, I could have reversed my position here, because one thing I've learned is that when a BPR here fails, as you guys can see, this was the BPR. Okay, let me remove this. So when a BPR here fails, right, this would have been a short. Okay, because when I realized that when BPR starts to fail, right, okay, when BPR fails, right, most of the time, right, okay, most of the time, I guess I never say all the time, it highly, I mean 80% to 90% of the time, right, it most of the time it reverses down, as you can see. So if it hits the stop loss there. So one thing, the reason why actually this kind of long was a bad long in my personal opinion, is because I was longing into a high that's all these highs here, all this buy side, right? So it's actually, I'm trading against the draw of liquidity. The draw of liquidity should technically be lower here, right? Okay, why was technically the draw of liquidity lower? Because there's buy side, there's no any other buy side here. With this almost V-shaped down, right? You know, this most probably is like a market maker sell model here. Okay, all the way back to the lows here. So of course, would this be like 100% guarantee? No, it's not, definitely not, right? So this was a big mistake by me, but it's 100% fine. I accepted that loss and I move on with it. So we came back down. We actually formed equal lows here, as you guys can see on the chart here. We actually formed equal lows right there. So you guys can see we formed equal low, and then I was like, okay, I wanted to hit these equal lows here. 2 minute did close bullish in inverse this fair value gap here. Okay. However, the only reason why I would have never taken this, right, is because we have this equal lows here, and we didn't have SMT as well. So when I realized that when we have SMT, when we have no SMT and have equal lows, right, most of the time probability is that we're gonna chop. Okay, we're gonna move up, we're gonna move down, so we're gonna start chopping. However, the only I actually caught along here, right, was that number one Sean actually went in on this. So I was like, okay, this looks good too, because we have this. I like the 2 minutes OB here. We make the 2 minute OB here, you guys can see. We form this 2 minute OB here, and we inverse this 1 minute fair value gap here with very strong momentum. So I was like, okay, we have these equal highs here. I would say that we at least have to this equal highs here. That will be the minimum that I would say. So I got in with this pullback here, and boom. So we smashed that TP there. I hit the 1:1. I caught it on live as well. Everything was caught on live. So you guys can definitely check it out. And then I was like, okay, because we sweep these equal lows here, I was like, okay, maybe we could look for shorts here, because overall I'm still bearish here, right? I'm still bearish overall high time frame, and we still have a very good draw equal lows right there. So I was like, okay, so I'm just going to look for these equal shorts. Okay, we did trigger that, so I was like, okay, never mind. And then I had this 1 minute short here. So maybe higher time frame wise, we are still inside of this like bearish fair value gap here, as you can see. So I was like, okay, we're still inside this bearish fair value gap, right? We haven't exactly inversed it yet. So to me, technically we're still bullish. Okay, and then I saw this candlestick here. Okay, this death candlestick here, I was like, okay, this just shows that we are very bearish here. Okay, we set this high here. Okay, we inverse, draw liquidity is below. Like I said, they're definitely premium here, very high in the range, not all the way to the bottom. We're selling here or whatsoever. So we didn't have an SMT. Okay, however, we knew the draw liquidity. That's number one. Now with the draw liquidity, it was very good momentum, and I think that's what it mattered. You know, it's a singular LBS fair value gap as well. So I took a sell. I went break even once we hit this low here. Okay, so and then once it hit 1:1, I scale half, as you guys can definitely check out the live as well. So it was kind of emotional day for me because of this trade here, because we almost hit the 1:1, right? I almost went break even, right? And then we just reversed 100%, and then just stopped me out completely. So that was another trade. Yeah, so that's basically very emotional day, but it's fine. Then this one, we came back up. I was like, okay, we're expecting this 1 minute here. This is a stronghold here, like. This was a very strong stronghold here. So I was like, okay, let's see what this trade do. I mean, I'm like, okay, I'm prepared for a break even already. So, and boom, we had this enormous downside sell, and I was like, whoa, that was just crazy. I didn't expect that. I don't know what the hell was that. Okay, it could be some terrorist news, could be some thing that we really don't know, because like uh it really just depends on this kind of terror news and Donald Trump. So currently, I'm hearing that Donald Trump is threatening additional 50% on China. So this kind of thing, it really isn't something that nobody can predict in the market. So we dumped. I scaled another half there, and then I let the rest hit my final TP, which is here. And sadly, because of spread, I actually didn't get to hit my final take profit. Sadly, what happened was that sadly what happened was that is that we reversed so much, right? And with this reaction here, it was like, oh, this looks like a soup. Because equals and we rejected out very strongly. I was like, this is a soup. So what I did was actually move my stop loss to actually above this high here and actually hit, and I actually moved and I hit, and that was the rest of history lah. So this was a good trade that I caught on live as well. Okay, so banger trade today. So overall, it was a good trade. It was a good trading day. It was kind of an emotional day for me, I would say, because of the fact that like there was a lot of this was the biggest moment. This was the biggest play here. However, it's a lesson learned for me because, like I said, it was that I'm longing into a high that was already set by side and everything. There's no point. I'm trading against liquidity. That it makes the most sense for us to dump rather than like go higher. That's my personal opinion here, lah. So yeah, that's all for today. I mean, that's all for trade recap. I'll be posting. So yeah, hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys enjoy yourself. Definitely check out the Discord. I'll be posting more. I'll post all the highlight clips that I actually caught out on the trades that I took today. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy yourself. Peace.